Hey guys, we are here with Larry Houston. He is the director and producer of everyone's favorite 90s classic cartoons, which is the X-Men, the animated series. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. It's been a great day. Yes.
Great, and it's been chaotic for us, but but I didn't even not know that you were gonna be here until I saw you and was like, oh my god, I need to interview this guy. I mean, you brought it's one of my favorite cartoons ever. I used to collect like the little cards for the
Oh,
animated
right.
show,
Yeah.
like action figures and
Yeah.
things. Like, so how was it working on this show?
It was a dream come true, actually. It was a show that I've always wanted to do ever since I started in animation. I started in 1980, and we did every time, like in Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, we would like pepper the series with X-Men characters and stuff like that. And we actually did a pilot, the Pride of the X-Men. We were trying to sell it that time, and it didn't happen. But 6 years later, when Margaret Loesch was in charge of Fox Kids, she was able to greenlight the series and get it on the air, and it was like a dream come true. And so we tried to do our best to, because we didn't know if we had more than 1 year. So we just pushed. I put the kitchen sink into the show. I put everything I knew. I had 12 years of experience prior to that of doing production and animation. I put everything I knew into the show to make it the best and hope that someone saw it. And at the end of the first year, all of us working on the show, um, we had our resumes out. We had no idea that the show nobody saw it. We didn't know the ratings. We have no knowledge, and we were all going to go to other jobs. When they called us up and said, "Hey, hold on, you got to pick up," and then it lasted another 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how was it like developing? Like, because I know you said earlier that you try to bring up the show with a different team, which you have like Nightcrawler, Storm, Cyclops, and Kitty Pryde in them.
Oh yeah, it was the this other one called it was the Pride of the X-Men that we tried to do, and we tried to back in this days. This was designed by Paul Smith and Dave Cockrum, and we tried to do a show, and we were trying to sell it to CBS, NBC, ABC. Back then, there was no cable, and we tried to get this on the air, and so we got the money to do like a half-hour pilot, and we got Toy Animation to do excellent work, put it out there, and nothing, crickets. We couldn't get the show sold. But the savior of this was that at Marvel Productions, my boss was Stan Lee and Margaret Loesch. And so about 6 years later, she left. She became the CEO of Fox Kids, and she was able to greenlight the show. And she called myself up, Will Mineo, Rick Holberg, and Eric Lewald, and Julia, said, "Hey, let's do the show. Let's do the X-Men." And she was able to put it on the air. So she's actually the superhero. She was the savior who brought it to the air, because it's like without her, it would have never got anywhere. Nobody was interested. Nobody believed in the show, but she did.
And did you grow up with comics? Like, what was your favorite comic book growing up?
Part of the books, I kind of went from DC to Marvel, because I started with Superman and stuff, liking all that stuff, and then I went to Marvel, reading, seeing the books of Jack Kirby, Fantastic Four, the Avengers. I'm going, oh my God, this is fantastic, and I started becoming a Marvel character fan, and I've been one ever since. I still go to the comic book store. At my age, I still go to the comic book store and I look for books to read and stuff and everything. But the one thing I think I was able to do successfully was to take all the trivia in Marvel Comics and apply it to the X-Men show. And I was able to make things work. I was making in terms of like correcting artwork, but also correcting maybe story points, to making sure the characters did what the books did in the books and put it into the TV show. And I tried to remember what it's like to be an 8-year-old child and the enthusiasm you have watching it, and then put that into the show. Try and set aside any adult cynicism and just let's have some fun. And that's what I did with the X-Men.
That's great. And also, you also brought in, like, in the animated series, like the X-Force, Cable, and different characters from other comics from the X-Men realm.
Right.
Was there any other, like, during the time for like the future animated series, like you would like to add other characters from the Marvel universe?
Yeah, I mean, if we would have had more years on the show, we probably would have. I would have loved to have done the episode where Cyclops, meets his brother, Alex, because we had an episode where they met, their powers zapped each other, and they couldn't figure out why they couldn't hurt each other. And I was like, yes, like early we had set up Cyclops meeting Corsair, I think his name is, who was actually Scott's father. Early in an early episode, we never revealed that that was his father, and then we did a later episode where we showed that to Scott and everything. All the personal dynamics came out in that episode. So that's the only one I wish we had got a chance to do was Alex. That would have been cool.
Now, how you feel about like the whole now they're doing X-Men movies? What do you think of those?
I there's some I love, some I don't love. I really like the Days of Future Past because it felt like a reset.
Yeah.
They hit the reset button, and so they could start off fresh, and hopefully all the next films will be a lot better. And so,
in an animated series, I saw some like kind of like some things from the cartoon to the movie, like the colors and stuff they use.
yeah, I mean, I'm just personal, but it's like I'm getting tired of black everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bring out the bright colors.
yeah, it comes, yeah.
Unitards.
It's something. Add some color somewhere. Everybody's black.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool once,
Yeah.
but then everything's like everybody's got the same color costume.
Yeah. So it's like you can't really see who is who.
Right.
And what their
Yeah.
abilities are, except
Yeah.
for Beast.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, except for Beast, everybody's like got the same colors.
Yeah, so thank you so much for this interview. I appreciate all you did and brought to us growing up. I mean, this is still my number one cartoon to watch.
I'm glad.
Like, I still watch it on Hulu all the time.
Well, thank you.
But thank you so much.
I like to thank you, all the audience who watched the show because you guys kept me employed. I had a job. And I'm glad I was able to be a part of the good part of your childhood for what we did.
Now, is there anywhere your fans can find you, or are you going to be at a next convention soon?
I'm a special guest at the San Diego Comic-Con this year. So I'll be down there I think it's in July. So I'll be down there as part of a panel talking about the X-Men and all the other shows I've worked on.
And they can find you on the internet too as well?
Yeah, let's see. My son set me up at LarryHouston.com. Excuse me. I don't have it here. Oh, yes, I do. It's LarryHouston.com. Yeah, that's where you can reach me.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry
it's a
about
pleasure.
that. Leaning
It's fine.
over stuff.
It's cool. Thank you. All right.